Okay, this is the next video in the Solving Linear Equations series, and we are looking at equations with x's on both sides and a bracket involved, and then that means we need 4 steps in order to solve it. Okay, so let's have a look at some examples. Select my pen. Here we go. So if we look at number 1 first, if we were asked to solve 2x plus 3 equals 4 bracket x minus 1. Now, the answer to this equation, the solution to this equation, might not be a nice whole number. I'm just randomly picking some digits, but at this stage we shouldn't be worried whether the answers are nice, i.e. whole numbers or a negative whole number, or whether they are fractions. Okay, we should be able to cope with those by now. So let's have a look. So the first step in solving this equation is to get rid of this bracket. Okay, and then we are turning it into an equation that just has x's on both sides. So we can see we have an x term on this side, on the left hand side, and we can see we've got an x term inside the bracket on the right hand side. And when we expand this bracket, multiply it out, we're obviously going to have an x term on that side as well. So let's have a look. Let's do that first. So 2x plus 3, we don't do anything with that. That stays as 2x plus 3. Now we do 4 times the x, which is 4x. And then 4 times minus 1. Because the 4 is positive, and the positive times the negative is negative. 4 times 1 is 4. So always break it down like that, makes it a bit easier. So now we can see we've got an equation with x's both sides, and it's going to take 3 steps to solve this one, like the previous video. So we sort out our x's first, which side we want our x's. It doesn't really matter, as I've said before, but if you choose the side that has the most number of x's to begin with, you'll just avoid some negative numbers, some negative values of x. So because there's 4x on this side and 2x on this side, there's more on the right hand side than there is on the left. So I think I'll keep my x's over this side and get rid of them on the left hand side. So to get rid of 2x, we simply subtract 2x. If I do it that side, I do it this side. Remember, it's the balance method, which you really do need now at this point. So 2x take away 2x is nothing, working down the page. Plus 3 didn't do anything with it, so it's still plus 3. But I can just write 3, I don't need to write the plus. Going down the page, just like you do with column addition or column subtraction. 4x take away 2x is 2x. Minus 4 didn't do anything to it, still minus 4. Okay. The right hand side has our x, the value we're trying to find. So the numbers we need to get rid of are the minus 4 and the 2. And if you think of your number machine at this point, that's okay. The first thing it was done to x, it was multiplied by 2. Then 4 was subtracted. So the first thing we're going to do, going backwards, is sort out the minus 4. And to do that, we add 4. Because when we say sort out, we mean we want to make it 0, we want to get rid of it. If I add 4 that side, I add 4 that side. Going down the page, 3 plus 4, 7. Equal sign, keep them in a line. 2x, didn't touch it, still 2x. Minus 4 plus 4, nothing. That's why we did it. Okay, balance method. Now we need to get rid of the 2. And because the 2 is being multiplied by x, going backwards, doing the opposite of that, we divide by 2. And if we do it that side, we do it that side. And 7 over 2, well, you should be able to do that anyway, is 3.5 or 3.5. And 2 over 2 is 1, which is why we did it. So there's our solution. You don't need to write x equals 3.5. You can just leave it like that. 3.5 equals x. That means the same thing. Okay? Okay, let's look at one more example. Move the screen up a bit. Okay. Example 2. Solve 7 bracket 2x minus 3 equals 5x plus 10. Okay, now like I said, I'm just randomly picking numbers here, so the answer might be a fraction or involve a fraction. It could be a mixed number, or it might be a whole number. Who knows? We'll see when we get there. Okay, the first thing we need to do is get rid of the brackets. So I've got the bracket this time on the left hand side. So 7 times 2x is 14x. And then 7 times minus 3. So we've got a positive times a negative is a negative. 7 times 3 is 21 equals. And then we've got 5x plus 10 on this side. Didn't do anything with that. So which side's got my most x's to begin with? The left hand side this time. So I'll get rid of my 5x because I'll have my x's on the left hand side because there's more to begin with. Just to avoid negative values of x. That's all. So to get rid of 5x, we take away 5x. We do it that side, we need to do it that side. Working down the page, always go down the page. 14x, take away 5x, 9x. Minus 21, didn't touch it, so still minus 21. Equals, keep them in a line. 5x, take away 5x, nothing, that's why we did it. Plus 10, didn't touch it, so still 10. Don't need to write the plus. Now we're down to our two-step equations that we started all those weeks ago. We got to get rid of minus 21 first and then multiply by 9. So the opposite of minus 21 plus 21. Why do we do the opposite? Because we want to make it 0. Add 21 on that side as well, balance method. Down the page, 9x, didn't touch it, still 9x. Minus 21 plus 21, nothing. Equals 10 plus 21, 31. And straight away I can see this is not going to be a very nice answer because 31 is not in the 9 times table. Okay, 9 doesn't divide into 31 nicely because that is my next step, isn't it? I have to divide by whatever is in front of x to make it into 1x. So I divide by 9, both sides. That gives me x equals. Now, if you want, you can just leave it as 31 over 9. That will give you full marks in a GCSE exam. Okay, that is the solution. But you should be able to convert that into a mixed number because it's an improper fraction, or top heavy as we say sometimes, but the correct way of saying it is improper because the top is bigger than the bottom. You should be able to convert that into a mixed number, but you don't have to. I'm just doing this for the video, okay? And we'll revise this little topic ourselves. So what does it mean? 31 divided by 9. How many 9s in 31? Well, 3 9s are 27. So 27 of those ninths will give me 3 whole ones. And how many ninths have I got left over? If I started with 31 ninths, 27 ninths is 3. Then I have 4 ninths left over. And there is my mixed number. 3 and 4 ninths. But remember, you can leave it as that if you want to in the exam. Okay, one more example with a negative outside the bracket. Okay, here we go. Example 3. I'll go a bit quicker through this one. Solve. Minus 5 brackets 2x minus 1 equals 3x plus 8. Okay, let's get rid of the bracket first. Now this time I got a negative outside, so we've got to be careful. So a negative times a positive is a negative. 5 times 2x is 10x. So notice I dealt with the signs first. I dealt with the signs of each term first. Negative times a positive, negative. 5 times 2x, 10x. Same again. Negative times a negative is a positive. 5 times 1 is 5. So I've expanded the brackets, which is always the first step if you have some brackets involved. Now I've got the situation, we've got x's both sides. Now which side has got the most number of x's? Now you may be tempted to go, oh, the left hand side, because there's a 10. But it's not 10, is it? It's minus 10. So this, the right hand side's got the most number of x's. 3 is bigger than minus 10. So I want to get rid of minus 10x and have my x's on the right hand side, like we did in example 1. So how do I get rid of minus 10x? Well, I add 10x. That's going to make it disappear, make it 0. If I add 10x to that side, I need to add 10x to the x term on that side. Down the page. Minus 10x plus 10x is nothing. Plus 5, didn't touch it, still 5. Equals 3x plus 10x, 13x. Plus 8, didn't touch it, stays there. Now I got to get rid of the plus 8 and the multiply by 13. I take away 8 to get rid of plus 8. Both sides, balance method. 5 minus 8, be careful, is minus 3. Okay, when you've got a small number subtracting a larger number, we know it's going to be negative. Just do it the other way around. 8 take away 5 is 3, so 5 take away 8 must be minus 3. Or thinking number line. 13x, didn't touch it. Plus 8 minus 8, nothing. Now we need to divide by 13 to turn that into 1x. And if we do it that side, we know we have to do it that side. And minus 3 over 13 is just minus 3 over 13. You can't do anything with that. Leave it as a fraction. And that equals x. And don't go messing about with it, trying to change it into a decimal. Fractions are much nicer and much easier to work with. Okay? So there we have it. That's the video solving linear equations involving a bracket, x's both sides, and therefore we have 4 steps because we've got to go to the bracket first, then we sort out the x's, and then we've got a 2-step equation where we sort out the number and then the coefficient of x at the end. Okay? Hope that helps. Thanks very much.